Hey friends, Shane here with Modern Warrior Project, and in this video, I am going to share with you the three most critical photos that every family should have in all of their phones. I'm going to share with you why having them ready can drastically cut search time down in a search and rescue or a missing person situation. And I'm going to share with you how you can set this up and get it knocked out pretty simple. So if you value rapid response, go ahead and hit subscribe now. And by the end of this video, I'm going to provide you with everything you need to have this set up in probably about 5 minutes. And they can truly make the difference between life and death or quick recovery in a crisis. Now, the thing is, most people, most families already think they have this covered because they have a bunch of photos in their phone, and they're wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this the Family Intelligence Asset System. And really, having photos on your phone is great, but that's not necessarily useful to law enforcement. If someone's missing, there's certain critical things that they want, and a lot of families try and find their best, and a lot of times they fall short. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here. So let's start off with the first, the most obvious, and that's the photo of the person. So the photo of the person, we've got a ton of photos in our phone, but they're candid photos. We want these to be deliberate. I want them to be ideally head on, at an angle, or at a 90 and head on. I want to make sure I'm capturing modern current style that this individual's wearing, as well as any new tattoos, things like that. And I want it to be clear. It is specifically for this purpose. It's going to be stored away and ready to given in the event that I need law enforcement or rescue services. The things to consider is we're always changing our styles. So if there's a hairstyle change, a new tattoo, a new scar, all of these things I want in this collection of photos. I said you need 3 photos. In reality, it's probably going to be a collection of photos, but it's very quick. Take some pictures of the scars, take some of these very clear shots of the individual, and you've got that covered. And as styles change, especially with kids, you know, their looks change pretty quickly. So I'd recommend updating this every few months. So now the next photo, and I'll actually kind of cover both of these at the same time, or series of photos, has to do with vehicles. I want any vehicle that this individual may be in. Obviously, your young children, they don't have their own vehicle, but I'm still going to I have a picture of my vehicle, my wife's vehicle. I want a clear multi-angle shots of the vehicle, any damage to the vehicle that could be highlighted. And I also want, and this is very important, I want clear shots of the license plate, specifically for the purpose of this intelligence asset package that I have in the event that someone goes missing. So let's say my wife all of a sudden doesn't show up today. I immediately have all of the stuff I need. I pick up, I call the police, I go in there, and I share this information with them. And not only that, just as important, as good as sharing it with the police, I push this out all across social media with all of our local groups, all of my friend groups, and it just gets spread everywhere. And it's a very good, clear picture of what the individual looks like, what the potential vehicle they might be in. It is really an up to date, awesome asset to have in the unfortunate event that you ever need this because someone has went missing. Now, I know this isn't rocket science, and a lot of times we cover a little bit more in-depth topics, but I'm willing to bet that most of you probably don't have this as I've just described it. And that's why I want to share it. Not everything has to be expensive. Not everything has to be, you know, super tactical and tricky. Sometimes it's the simple things that can mean the most. And really, this is just a simple matter of putting this into your calendar, that every few months I'm updating these photos and these files, and I've always got them on hand, and so that they're there, they're ready, and they're as good as can be, as close to current as can be in the event that you need them. So that's a good little intelligence asset system to put together for your family and loved ones. Beyond the stuff I discussed there, anything else that might be unique to them, I would recommend crafting up and creating. So, for instance, it wouldn't hurt to have a Word doc on everything about them, you know, within reason, everything that, and then, you know, a search team or people that could need, like they need this kind of medicine, they're this, have all of this stuff. You could certainly come up with this on the spot, but it takes time. So if you already have this together, you just hand it over and you don't have to worry about trying to gather this during a time of crisis.